A very good evening to you. Thanks for joining us on the Tuesday edition of the show, a day where we have to take stock of everything that has happened over the weekend. Some not very interesting things happened over the weekend. We're here to talk about some of them and take you on a ride across the money spinning world of sports. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Good to have you with us again as we do this every day that we come here to take you on a cruise across the money spinning world of sports. As you already know, I don't do this alone. My partner, Austin Okon-Akpan, is right here with me. We're ready to take this trip together. Austin, even though we don't have much time to take a look at what happened last week, but we'll still try and talk about some things that happened over the weekend.
That's right. Sporty greetings to you, Yemi, and of course our viewers joining us from different parts of the world. In London, I'm Austin Okon-Akpan. So much going down in our world of sports, Yemi. It has been tagged a bitter weekend for Nigerians in sports, but let's just chin up and know that in our world of sports, you don't win all the time, and when you lose, you must just pick the valuable lessons in it. So let's move on. And Yemi, good news, because I love it when we're doing things at the grassroots. I love it when we're giving attention to development. So let's talk some gymnastics and what some young gymnasts did for Nigeria in Johannesburg.
Yeah, that's good. Going straight into it without really wasting much of the time. A sport that a lot of people don't really pay much attention to. But like you said, a team of young Nigerian gymnasts have flown the country's flag, and quite high indeed in South Africa at the African Gymnastics Club Championship. Team Nigeria defied the odds despite delayed visas, flight issues, all the normal stories, to win 8 medals in the mid-level 4, 5, and junior Olympic level at the just concluded competition in Johannesburg, South Africa. And a team of 9 had 8 girls and a boy participated in floor, vault, bar, and beam events in their maiden international competition. All right, I think it's only fair we allow our viewers to see some of these and take some reactions. So also, let me just quickly do that. We get back to what we're talking about. So let's just take you to where you see some of the pictures, and of course we'll take some reactions to let you listen to very young Nigerians doing great things in gymnastics. We'll do that for you. We'll come back for more on Sports Tonight.
Their audience here at the Nigerian High Commission missed the main event, so they took their time to show what it was all about, and they have medals to show for it.
Look, Minister, that's
Six-year-old Esther is the youngest team member. She scooped a bronze medal in meet level 4.
My name is Esther and I am 6. I came here for a competition and training, and I won a bronze, and this is my first international competition.
In spite of the short notice I got to receive you, I still warmly appreciate. I wish I could just give you the whole office to take and turn it to a gym so that you can train every hour, every minute, so that, because in you I see the prospect of Nigeria winning Olympic medals in gymnastics in the not too distant future.
It was not an easy journey to the competition event, as the members of the team experienced challenges most of the way. They only arrived on the event day just in time to participate, without even room for training.
It was a bit challenging because immediately we landed, we had to go to the hotel to rest for like 30 minutes, and immediately we moved straight to the gym.
Owing to visa delay and a missed flight, 19-year-old Tomisin Babatunde could not compete, but this did not break him, as he says he's preparing and looks forward to competing for Nigeria in the next Olympics.
Yeah, I see myself competing for Nigeria in the next Olympics, not 5 years, the next Olympics.
The founder of the club, Anthony Asuko, says for them to have reached this stage where they get to compete, it takes hard work and training.
Yeah, it is all about training. It is all about methodology. We plan our program from the beginning of the year to the end of the year, and then we've got all of the elements and the skills ready for them. And then in every quarter, like in every 3 months, we'll do like an assessment program for them back home. So we'll try to see if they've been able to match up with the level system required all over the world, because we go with a code of points. So we have to try and make sure we get to that level before moving them to another level. So it is like fun to train, learn to train, train to train, and train to compete. So we make it fun for them. At the same time, they are going to compete when it gets to the train to train. And then train to compete is when they can be representing their countries, or they are very ready to go for any competition.
The group remained in South Africa for a week after the competition, as they say they needed to train and use some of the equipment that is not available back home. The medalists who had gone back ahead include 11-year-old Stephanie Onusiruka, gold in the junior Olympic level, 12-year-old Bemisola Adebayo, gold in meet level 5, 8-year-old Adedeji Adela, silver in the meet level 5, and 11-year-old Harriet Mary Vani, gold in meet level 4.
All right, welcome back. Two words that not really synonymous with Nigeria: gymnastics and gymnasts. But you see those young ones doing it there, making us proud, making us happy right there in South Africa. All right, let's continue with the discussion we'll be having. Kehinde Idris joins. Greetings to you, Kehinde. Thanks for finding out time to be with us on the show. It's good doing this with you.
It's good always, Tuesday is almost a regular, and it's always nice doing this. I just saw gymnastics, and it just takes me back to, some months ago or years ago, where we're going to the Olympics, we're going for championship, and we hear medal prospect.
All right.
Probably we should take lead from so many other countries. Okay. There is no medal prospect. Give everybody an equal chance to compete, and the medals might come from anywhere. Well done, the gymnasts.
All right. Well done, the gymnasts. Austin, of course, we're in the heart of the matter. Now we're going into something that we've talked about a whole lot of the time. It's got our attention. I'll yield the floor to you, because at this point I have more questions than answers, actually. So it's good that you'll be the one leading this discussion. It's all about the 10-year development plan. And I've seen people walk up to me, ask me questions. Sometimes I scratch my head. Sometimes I say what I know. And maybe you'll help me out.
I'll try, that's because you've been hearing too much of committees, documents, this plan, that plan, and then we're not seeing action. I'm sure that's why you're tired, but we're just hoping that this will be different, because the committee responsible for putting together the 10-year master plan submitted their report to President Muhammadu Buhari today in Abuja. And it's heartwarming this time around, because they seem like the main business. They're giving this to the president, and the president gave directives, told them get to work right away. This shouldn't just end in a document. We don't just want to have it to be all talks. He said, let's see action. So that's why I think this will be different. So hopefully we're going to see some good things come out of this 10-year master plan for football development in Nigeria. And what other time should we be having this? We need this so bad, because if you take a look at football in Nigeria, it's been a topsy-turvy ride. So with this sort of plan, we can now see if we have a direction, if we're serious to put words to action, and of course, do the right things. I love the fact that this is coming from the #1 citizen of the country, the president, saying, look, this is no joke anymore. Whatever it is that you've put in this report, we want to see action. Let's listen to the Minister for Youth and Sports Development, Mr. Sunday Dare, is directing to this, and right after that, we'll also listen to the president. It's all about this 10-year master plan for the development of football in Nigeria.
The mandate you gave us, Mr. President, underscores the importance you attach to football and the need to lay a solid foundation once and for all that will be a legacy for the growth of this game. Mr. President, in nearly 7.5 years under your watch, we want to thank you because of the support you have given Nigerian Football Federation. The Federation has received both through budgetary appropriations and several presidential intervention funds in the last 7.5 years in excess of 15 billion naira, which is indeed a princely sum. One of the most important aspects of the committee's work is the legal regime around our football. The committee identified that there is conflict in the laws and statutes governing the administration of football in our country. The NFA Act of 2004 was enacted as an act of the National Assembly and makes provision inter alia for the running of the football, including elections and the board. The supervisory role of the Ministry of Sports and the oversight functions of the relevant Senate and House of Representative Committees on Sports were also spelled out. Therefore, in consonance with the Section 1.3 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, we know that where there's any inconsistency between the Constitution of Nigeria and a law or act and status therefrom, the Constitution takes precedence. Furthermore, Mr. President, the master plan recommends the expansion of the constituent for the NFF elective Congress and executive board to make it meet new realities and needs. It therefore recommended an increase of the executive board to 111, 111, and 16 respectively, among other far-reaching recommendations. The NFF Congress, which is supreme, will eventually make the final decision in this respect. Mr. President, may I also submit that the prescriptions and recommendations set forth in this Football Development Master Plan, if followed through with the needed political will and determination, will resolve the issues that we have around our domestication, the growth of football, the administration of football, and will enhance our stature in global football. The master plan will encapsulate functional strategies that will outlast this current administration, will set firmly in place the Nigerian football on a path of sustainable growth and development, and this, Mr. President, will be a legacy, and we thank you for your vision. Mr. President, with your approval, this document will be presented to the Federal Executive Council for approval and future funding so that the implementation of the short, medium, and long-term plans can commence as part of the legacies of this administration.
So that's it. The Minister for Youth and Sports Development, Sunday Dari, speaking about the 10-year Football Development Master Plan. Now, let me get you talking, Kende. He said a lot of important things, particularly when he said that they want to create a legacy. Kende, hope this will not be more talks and just talks.
Probably my fear, really. But like they always say, there is never a wrong time to start a right thing. You know, I've heard so many people ask about the timing and all of that. This dispensation is about to leave and all of that. 10-year master plan. That means the team that will be starting this whole master plan will be leaving in some months. Will the, team coming in, talking about the executives coming in afterwards, would they still follow up? That's the issue for another day. But for now, never a wrong time to start a right thing. But like you just mentioned, this is our biggest fear. Do we go through with plans like this? This is very laudable. This is very, very beautiful. These are plans where you hear of and you're like, okay, I want to keenly face this. Like in 2020, when we talked about adopt an athlete, adopt an idea, adopt a facility, and all of that. Very laudable, beautiful. But how do we sustain ideas like this? In England, there is a place, I think in Birmingham, they created a sports center and they called that place 8 years to podium. So you must be like 7, 8 for you to go there. And then by 15, 16, you're ready to take on the world. These are plans, and it's been there for years. Anybody who wants, at that young age, you want to be a sport person conquering the world, you move down there, they groom you, they grind you, polish you, and then when you're out, you're talking about the Commonwealth Games, you're talking about the Olympics, the World Championships, and all of that. This is what we're talking about. And Yemi, seriously, if we also have to get to that height, these are things we should put on ground. But our basic problem, or our major problem, is sustenance. How do we get through? Sunday Dari would leave someday. will it, continue after he leaves? The executive that this is being presented to, talking about the presidency, they will leave someday. Will it still be continued by the other dispensation? These are questions we ask. And also, Amaju Pinnick, we're talking football. Amaju Pinnick is about to leave office and all of that.
Yes. I wanted to be an innocent bystander, but you have dragged me in. I'm very sure, well, I'll still yield the floor back to Austin again, because I have more questions than answers. I think to follow up with what Kende Idris has said, I think the question on people's mind is, if I had seen them on the floor of the Senate, at the House of Rep, and somehow they read this, it's signed into law, I would be more optimistic. I would be more if that is what I am seeing.
I totally agree.
But he said a year, probably 9 months down the road, this administration will leave. The key figures, the 3 people he mentioned, in a year's time would not be the ones directly running the affairs. So that it's a cause for worry, rather. But then again, I also agree that the attempt to do this is good.
Yep.
Now, I don't understand how government works. I don't understand if it's enough, if the government ideally should be continuation.
Yeah.
Ideally, it should be, but we know in this part of the world it doesn't usually work that way. So I would be hoping that maybe, without any law, because it's clear to me, we're not seeing any law backing anything up, maybe the incoming administration and whoever is at the helm would like this idea and would want to continue it. Aside that, 1 year down the line, we'll start something else.
Truly, I understand your cynicism, because we've been down this road several times, that we're hoping. We can go on and call different, committees that have been put together for football development, sports development, even under the last Minister for Youth and Sports Development, Barrister Solomon Dalong. Remember, we had a committee that was led by Mr. Godwin Kienka. We didn't hear anything about that when he left. But with this one, that they went to meet the president, that this committee was put together, said, do this job with a particular time frame and come back to us, and then they've done that job. And I love the caliber of persons that are in this committee. So let's just hope that it will be something different. We've got the mathematical Shego Odegbami there. I saw Emmanuel Babayaro, Ibrahim Galadima is the chairman of the committee. A lot of respected, persons in football administration in Nigeria, respected sports journalists. One I call a veteran, Aikoje is also there. Ojekere is also part of it. So it's a good one to think about it. That we're beginning to reason something good for our football, which is first things first, identify the problems and then start thinking about ways, to solve them. So this is a step in the right direction if we're willing to do something different. I love what the president said. President Muhammadu Buhari described football as Nigeria's passion and a major tool for unity. That alone should let the country take this seriously. Let's listen to the president. He had some remarks about this report, gave them some charge. We'll come back to talk some more.
We have seen attempts to subjugate national interest for narrow interest or disrespect for the laws of Nigeria. Nigeria will not take lightly at any attempt to inflict injury on its football fortunes. This government is interested in developing a football culture that will accommodate football best practices and that will help the nation to lay a solid foundation for our domestic football, put in place professionally and efficiently run leagues, entrench a consistent and stable football calendar, and create a value chain which will boost the sports ecosystem. Achieving this will guarantee desired progress in continental and international competitions. I know that a lot of work went into putting this 10-year master plan document together.
Welcome back, Sports Tonight on Channels Television. We're taking a look at football development in Nigeria. The president, Muhammadu Buhari, you heard him talk about that 10-year football development master plan that was submitted to him through a committee that was guided by the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sports Development. And the president said something very, very important. He outlined the importance of football to Nigeria, and he said anyone that wants to, mess things up as regards what we can do with our football, that his administration will not allow it. I love his tone. I love the direction this is going. Kende Idris, let me get you talking, particularly now that we're getting ready for the NFF elections. It seems we have something that can guide them.
Exactly. I think now we're seeing proper interest from the powers that be. And then as much as he hinged, all of the work of the committee on the fact that football itself is a tool for unity, for growth, for, curbing vices and all of that. He also went further to say, I know the hard work being put into all of this that I'm seeing today. That is a man understanding the fact that this committee came together with what I'm seeing, the breakdown, proper thoughts, proper, argument, fight amongst each other, and then they came up eventually with this. If you understand where a team is coming from, probably you would understand where they are going. And that is where, President Muhammadu Buhari puts it right now. But he still stands at the fact that everybody on ground probably are on the same direction. And I want to see that direction go on like that, because it's like a right path, and then there is a light at the end of that path, and you're just, aiming at that light. Hopefully that light won't get quenched, and then it's darkness again. Seriously, it's beautiful what we're seeing. With the president being in charge, I understand your skepticism that if we were to be at the floor of the Senate or the reps, we'll be talking about, stamping to law and all of that. But with this that we've seen, this is the #1 man in the country, and if he is backing such, then it has a lot of water being held in there. So I just want to go with the goods.
Just to double down a little and backtrack a little, I understand that my knowledge of the law is limited.
Yeah, of course.
So I say those things based on what I know.
Let the people who are there.
When I leave the studio tonight, I'll try to have a conversation with a lawyer to educate me. But you see, based on what we know, you have to want to be sure that this report as a leg is standing on, especially if the current administration or the key figures, as we know, if they decide to leave. But it's a good place to leave it, guys. Let's move on the show. I want to come to the domestic scene and talk about what's happening on the domestic scene. And of course, clubs are preparing for the new season in the Nigerian Professional Football League. It's time to talk about Benga Ogunbote. He has been signed on for his third stint as the coach of 3SC, Shooting Stars Football Club of Ibadan. And of course, the unveiling was done by Nigerian standards. It's very good, by Nigerian standards. A lot more could still be done, but by Nigerian standards, what you have on your screen is pleasing. To have the sports commissioner of the state and some central figures come around, and you have him waving to the crowd. You have the presence. I mean, looks like this could have happened at the Camp Nou. Something like this could have happened at the Camp Nou. But that's pictures for you, Coach. Benga Ogunbote needs little or no introduction in the Nigerian professional. He has coached the best teams in the Nigerian Professional Football League, IMBA, Remo Stars, 3SC, and I think Rangers at some point. So, I mean, he comes with a lot of experience, and that's him in your picture, taking that jersey, inking the signing on the dotted lines. Let's just quickly listen to key figures in that event. Sheun Fakorede, the Commissioner of Youth and Sports, Oyo State, Babatunde Olani on the 3SC sole administrator, and of course the man himself, Benga Ogunbote.
As you all are aware, Coach Benga Ogunbote is one of the finest coaches in Nigeria has produced. He has imparted and still imparting Nigerian footballers and administration. He has guided many clubs to victories, triumphs, and successes in his coaching career. His most recent was with Remo Stars FC, which he led to pick a continental ticket just within a season. We as management believe that with the support of all stakeholders here and those who are not here present, Coach Gbenga Ogubate will be able to replicate his winning strides and sterling performance by making Shooting Star very competitive next season.
You know, this is a new development, and by the special grace of God, we are going into a new season. We are going, you know, as it were, you know, into a battlefield, you know, with excitement. I mean, because, you know, we feel that, you know, our machinery is actually stronger this time around. So we are going, you know, with that, you know, full vigor, you know, to fight hard, to fight well, and to finish strong. So it's a good thing that, you know, all our fans, you know, all our supporters, they jointly, you know, appreciate and support, you know, this development, which is good.
Shooting Star Sports Club is a traditional club with a rich history, just like the chairman did say. And it is history that we want to bring back the lost glory. Bringing back the lost glory is not the issue, it's not the duty of Ogubate as an individual, but it is going to be the responsibility of everybody and all stakeholders, including the government, the owner of the club. While this one is done, I want to assure you that by His grace, at the end of the season, we all have the cause to glorify the name of God.
All right, that's Gbenga Ogubate and the key figures talking about the new appointment for 3SC. And Kayode, you listen to him. Mm-hmm. If there's something might take away before we get to Austin, because Austin will take us to another venue where an unveiling just took place. But he said the restoration and returning, the days of glory is not only Gbenga Ogubate's responsibility. And you think, to me, that's a smart statement. Yeah. That it's showing, look, I'll do my job, but you guys need to do yours.
Especially at an unveiling.
Yeah.
That is a resounding message to everybody because it's open. If it were to be like the climbs you mentioned, fans will be there and all of that, so everybody will hear at once. Even without that, Channels TV has just reported it to the entire nation and probably to the entire world. Austin is here, swinging in from London, so a lot of person will be catching it. What he's saying is Gbenga Ogubate will do his job. Gbenga Ogubate is a renowned coach. Named the Oracle, it wasn't by joke. It's because of what he had done in Nigerian football. Gbenga will bring that. But what about the other things that could probably tie the legs of Gbenga at some point, the hands, or probably the players or his assistant coaches? These are some of the things.
Tools he needs to
Yes, because administrators call a lot of shots. And so many at times, what happens off the pitch, in the locker room, in the dressing room, in those offices, will just come and affect what you're doing on the pitch. And then we, the fans, or, probably the fans out there would say 3SC don't know how to play football. They do know how to play football. But these are some of the things that would have happened. So, Gbenga, spot on an unveiling, you're mentioning that everybody sit up, please.
All right, everybody sit up, please. All right, Austin, you're nodding your head. I'm very sure you agree. You're about to take us to another unveiling, but I know you want to say a thing or two about that. Then you take us to something. They call them the Akure Gunners, but I know you talk about that later. But your thoughts on this one, then we go to the other one.
And I know anything that has Gunners in it excites you. Well, it's okay. but I spoke with Gbenga Ogubate just before the season ended, right there when he was at Remo Stars, and he says, Austin, I just want to have fun. And truly, he's having fun with the clubs that he's moving, from one club to another. You'd wonder that after leading Remo Stars to the CAF Confederations Cup, why is he leaving? Now he's leaving to 3SC. I mean, why this is good for 3SC? There's a lot to reflect. Because 3SC just managed to survive relegation last season. They finished 16th on the log. So this man has a lot of work to do. He's experienced. He's a very intelligent coach, has good knowledge of the Nigeria Professional Football League. But we know that in the NPFL, it goes beyond just kicking the ball. A lot of things affect performance, particularly management. So hopefully the Oyo State government will work with this guy to, take Shooting Stars to that level where they would like it to be. Now the man who was a Shooting Stars before, now that Gbenga Ogumbotin is taking over, Coach Edith Agoye has moved to Sunshine Stars. So yes, we have those movements too in the Nigeria Professional Football League. Edith Agoye brought Shooting Stars back into top flight football, and now is going to Sunshine Stars. This club, very interesting story, Kehinde and Yemi. I love this story Sunshine Stars seem to be telling. 2 seasons ago, remember, they barely survived relegation. And in this season, they just completed season, they, did a little bit better than what we had in the previous season. And with Edith Agoye, I love this man too. He brings a lot of resilience to his coaching style, discipline. He plays attacking football. So maybe it might just be that charge that Sunshine Stars needs to, pour some oil into their season. So next season will be a good one. Coaches are moving, players are moving. We can't wait for the MPFL to commence. This is what we're talking about. That 10-year football development master plan of Kehinde will have something in it for league football development so that we go beyond just talking about the players, the coaches, but talk about the commercial benefits of league football in Nigeria.
Exactly, Austin. If you are not talking about the MPFL, in this 10 years plan, then you're not talking anything. Because I can remember, if I was so little, I heard stories where people come from Cote d'Ivoire, Cameroon, and neighboring countries in West Africa, and even far away, probably East Africa, just to catch a glimpse of what is happening in the MPFL. And more so, probably if you're taking it to another level, play for a team in the MPFL. That is how massive it was. So if you are not thinking about, bringing that back, then you're not doing anything. The story of the National Stadium, Surulere, comes to mind, where so many, old players will tell you, I just want to be in that tunnel and rise onto the pitch. I've heard stories, and I want to be one of those players. So these are the things we're talking about. It was massive. It was huge. While Yekini was playing outside there, his team, as of then, through stories I heard, had to pay him 25,000 if he can come to Nigeria and score against any club here. And then, he did that. This is how big we were, and we're still big. In the papers, if you're to play any Nigerian team, trust me, as much as we fear the North Africans, the South Africans, they talk about our teams because they know Nigeria can just spring it this way, any of the clubs. And that is what we want to return. Fear, respect at the highest level, and hopefully we'll get that. And look at the movement. Probably we're getting some things right, but it's at a snail's pace.
All right. I know if I leave you alone, you're going to continue to talk about it. But I think it's only fair. Let's see the man we've been talking about, that unveiling that happened, Edith Agoye, and the people is going to walk with, and of course they also call them the Owena Waves, thereabout. Let's just listen, take some reactions. We'll come back for more on Sports Tonight.
I want to reiterate that the unity of purpose of all stakeholders is required so as to rally around Agoye and his coaching crew in actualizing the common dream for Sunshine Stars Football Club. Ladies and gentlemen, Agoye is one of us. He is an indigene. It is a call to duty. The coaching job of Sunshine Stars FC comes with a huge responsibility.
I'm quite happy that Sunshine Stars is one of the powerhouses in Nigerian football today. This is a club that in the past 10 years have played in the continent. The standard has been set already. This is a club that, yes, we can safely say is in transition, but it's an unhealthy transition. What I met and what myself and the other coaching technical member met on ground is sufficient for us to build on. And what we can only promise you is that the necessary progression that this club requires, that we will do it. We will put our wealth of experience, not only as ex-football players, but as coaches, into play, so that we will take Sunshine to the next level that is required.
All right, so Edith Agoye, all the best to the man. He's hoping to take Sunshine Stars to the next level. Last week we were on the show, we discussed this next topic extensively, but we did actually show you what we were supposed to show you, and that's the comments of Davidson Onwumi on the rumored 24-team format for the NPFL. And because it's going to form part of our discussion on the show tonight, let's quickly go to that and hear him dispel that rumor and just quash it outright, and we come back to discuss, because the rumor was beginning to spread like wildfire, but hopefully now everything, the dust has settled, we know we're not going to get 24. And even if we are, the people that should make the decision have not made that decision. Let's listen to Davidson Onwumi. Come back for more. We're supposed to tonight.
I'm trying to look at reality on ground, okay? If you say, let's marry 3 items together, 90% of the clubs are government clubs, and we are going into an election year where resources will not be forthcoming as normal. Now you're also looking at the state of insecurity of the country as at today, preceding the election. That is the second aspect. Thirdly, you're looking at a very cognitive step that we can take, okay, to really align our calendar with the rest of, the continents. You understand? I mean, developed football climes. If you bring these 3 things together, then common sense, you say, okay, why don't we have an abridged game, okay? 10-10 on both sides, okay? Convenience. At the end of the day, you do a sports fiesta, a football fiesta, where either the best 6 teams or the best 4 teams, okay, will meet somewhere. But you see, these are all Congress decisions. They are not decisions that can just come out like that. The Congress has to sit down, look at the pros and cons of each of these model, okay? Then we'll look at this, okay, if this is a rational way of, trying to align our calendar, or trying to sleep with reality on ground about issues of insecurity, okay, and the finances, okay, we can do that. But you must do that within the stipulated and acceptable norms and values, so that there's what they call the sporting fairness. You understand? We must, everything we are doing, we must anchor our actions and activities within, the limits and orbits of a sporting fairness. Okay, so that we don't lose more of our image.
All right, that's it. Davidson Onwumi there, just clearing the air and telling us if that decision will be made. Of course, we will know. All right, Austin is here. Kayode is here. I'm here. Austin, I know we don't really have much time. We discussed about this last week, but before we travel abroad and look at all the other ages, I don't know if you have a thing or two to just quickly say as we leave the matter altogether.
And as I said last week, I say it again, let's go beyond formats or what people want to do to get into our league football, and start thinking about building a viable and profitable league system. And I think Davidson Onwumi did a good job. He mentioned part of that also. Let's find ways to take football out of the state government. They can own it, but let's find ways to bring, corporate partnerships, strategic ones. Let's find ways to bring in private organizations. Let's make it professional. Let's make it something that, will be admirable for people to come into football, because you and I know we've got a talent, we've got respected coaches. It's time for us to start doing the right things with our football and go beyond what I'm going to have 24 format or 30-team format and all of that. I want to start hearing people saying Rivers United, what they've done, a big organization has come into it now to make it maybe 70-30, government just brings 30%. Big organization brings 7%, and then we'll start making good profit. All right,
sorry, I had to button. Let's do this quickly because we might not have time. By the way, Kehinde Idris is giving you a thumbs up. You've said the things he would have loved to say, and so there's no need for repetition. Let's move on. Let's talk about what happened over the weekend. 3 things, actually. Painful events in the world of sports. 3. We won't have time to talk about everything, but let's start with Anthony Joshua, Alexander Usyk. I can't say I'm lost for words because I had my fears and everything. Yeah. But the painful part for me was watching round 9 over and over and over. That was the point I thought something was going to happen. And it looked like it was going to happen. But credit to Usyk, stayed on his feet, behaved like a champ, and weathered the storm.
He's a strong fighter. He's a quality fighter. That guy can upset anyone on his day, you know, but maybe Anthony Joshua should have gone the distance with that round 9, you know, take risk, pour everything you have, you know, because that guy was getting points off boxing, you know, with him. So it is what it is. He came to the post, you know, fight conference and he broke down. He said he was upset with himself. He cried. He said he wanted to do it for Great Britain, wanted to do it for his fans. He knew so much was on the line with this fight. But this Ukrainian boxer called Alexander Usyk was determined to keep those belts and see if he can get to fight Tyson Fury, and he got the job done. Took big shots, body shots, and he took them like the champ that he is, and went on to win. You know, and people are saying Anthony Joshua should be flattered that it was split decision because this man right there, I mean, you know, he bust the fight. He did.
He did. Must say, can you do this? Before we go to Kamaru Usman, that was another incident. That I was surprised. But do you agree with those who said, because one of the things Anthony Joshua said is, how do you fight this well and still lose? Yeah. So do you agree that we saw the best of AJ just wasn't enough?
Probably we did not see the best of AJ, but we saw a better AJ compared to the first fight. That was a very good fight. AJ really brought it on. But when you're fighting somebody who is dogged, resilient, in Alexander Usyk, I think that is what you get. And that is why, at the end of the fight, you saw how upset. AJ didn't know how he would react to the whole result. He stormed off the ring, came back. You know, at some point, even what he was saying was coming from the belly. He was just talking. He just wanted to wear out that disappointment. But reality is there. You lost the fight.
And for me, deja vu, because I remember when, was it Vitaly or Vladimir? Yeah. Samuel Peter. Samuel Peter knocked him down twice. Yeah. But the guy got up and still outboxed him and won. And it happened again with AJ. In AJ's case, couldn't knock him down. But that round 9 was very painful. Yeah. All right, Austin, I wish we had time, but we have to do this. Kamaru Usman, nobody, and I say again, nobody would say they saw that coming. Your guy was leading. Our guy, leading on points. All he had to do was just manage that fight. You're beating this guy before, don't get reckless, and he gets caught.
And that's MMA for you. That's why the sport is so unpredictable. This was a painful, very painful loss. Yeah, I mean, it gave me soaked eyes, you know. Oof. I struggled not to cry when that deadly neck kick, you know, from Leon Edwards landed on Kamaru. But shout out to this guy for believing in himself. And if you check, you can tell that they have watched Kamaru Usman over and over again, and they know he's so good with the counter attack. So he came with the dummy with his right and did the dummy with his left. And when Kamaru was trying to block and counter, a deadly neck kick was landing on his neck, and down he went, and that was it. The belt's gone. Leon Edwards, new welterweight UFC champion of the world. What a story. From Jamaica, came from the trenches, came into the United Kingdom in Birmingham, kept believing in himself. When he lost to Kamaru in 2019, he said it, that he's the one who would dethrone Kamaru Usman in 2019. And then he has done it now. What a story. Shout out to him. Look, he said that the belt is not for anyone. Now it has opened up the welterweight division. Let's see if Kamaru Usman will pick himself up back like the true champ that he is. But it was a painful defeat.
It was a painful loss. You guys are making me feel sad now. All right. I try to dry my eyes. I don't know. We're not supposed to be doing this on live TV. Let's go to the Falconet. Another sore point over the weekend. The girls came into this 100%. We're looking good. And they played well, but the other team just scoring the goals.
Yeah, I think that was my fear. And I said it everywhere I could. That if there's one thing I fear of the Netherlands team, is the fact that they have girls who can score. Okay, women who can score. But I had my confidence in the defense of the Falconet. So I felt good scoring team meeting a good defensive side. Trust me, this is going to be a good tie and we might just get the edge. Now, I guess this was where we lost that game. So many times, the best form of defending is attacking, taking the game to the team. We did not do so much going up front. And it gave the Netherlands a lot, to come right there. So I think that was just the loss for me. And then when they had their chances, if you can score, then you get to get goals from anywhere. Look at the first goal; it was almost from nothing, rebound, and then you got that goal. Sad one. It was a sad weekend.
I think there's some popular lyrics of this song. Bobby McFerrin. Don't worry, be happy. All right. So that's just it. Don't worry, be happy. All right. So, guys, we have to leave all that. I can't do this your parting shot because we have to go very soon. Liverpool, Manchester United. That's where we're going to hang everything, and we're going to leave it on the show tonight. Have Manchester United turned the corner? You have to do that for me in about 45 seconds. Yeah. Good strategy. They abandoned trying to play from the back. They were kicking the balls in, and they were contesting for the 50-50. They didn't allow Liverpool press, because if you allow Liverpool press, they are the master when it comes to pressing. So there was nothing to press, and United hit them at the corner. But the question for you, now that Casemiro is joining, do you think they've turned the corner with 10?
Probably. Also, you forget to mention they abandoned their captain also, in Harry Maguire. One thing that I keep telling people, no matter how worse a team is, when it comes to those big games, leave form, leave whatever is happening to that team at that moment. They want to play their hearts out, and that is what I won't be surprised if Manchester loses the next game to one of the small teams in the Premier League. These are games that pride is on the line. So, congratulations to Manchester United. I think that's just the best to say at this point.
All right, Kenny, I want to thank you for your time on the show today. Hopefully we'll do this again some other time.
Of course, it's always a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
All right. Austin, we got to go. We have to say our goodbyes in a bit. Before we say our goodbyes, of course, you'll go first, but a word on United before we say our goodbyes.
I think that was an important win. They needed to win that one. It would have been unthinkable that they go 3 games without a win with a new manager. So I think the players just said to themselves that they need to turn it around, and they did just that. So congratulations to Manchester United. There's still so much matches to play in the EPL, so let's watch and see. That's the show in London. I'm Austin Okonakman, and everything you do, remember, keep talking sports. Bye for now.
All right. That's the show today. We do hope that you enjoyed everything we've been able to do. We're back here again tomorrow to take you on a trip across the money-spinning world of sports. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Bye-bye now.